Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more 10 p.m. stories. He died 7 years ago and I buried him. Myself with roses, tears, and every goodbye my heart could handle. Last week, they opened his coffin for cemetery renovation. Inside they found a sealed letter placed where no letter should be, and the letter was addressed to me. For 7 years, I tried to convince myself Daniel was truly gone. 7 years of anniversaries spent alone and dinners served with one empty chair. 7 years of trying to forget his laugh and failing miserably. So when the cemetery called, the chill in the manager's voice told me something was terribly wrong. "Mrs. Carter, we found something inside your husband's coffin," he said, trembling. The drive there felt endless. Every buried memory clawing its way back to life. I expected decay, dust, and the final proof of goodbye. Instead, a pristine white envelope lay on his chest, as if placed there yesterday. My name was written on it in Daniel's handwriting. The ink fresh, the seal untouched. My hands trembled as I opened it, desperate and terrified. The first line knocked the air from my lungs. "Forgive me, Tina. It wasn't me they buried. If the body in this coffin wasn't Daniel, then where was my husband?" The workers stepped back as I stared at the body wearing his suit, his wedding band, and his height. But the face wasn't right, smooth, slightly different, like an imitation carved too perfectly. My stomach twisted with dread. I gripped the letter tighter and read the rest in broken whispers. "They replaced me. They needed you to think I was dead. Don't trust anyone near my grave, especially the police." My gaze shot to the groundskeeper watching me with a strange expression. A sudden movement in the trees made my instincts scream to run. If this wasn't Daniel in the coffin, then someone murdered the wrong man, and the killer might think they failed. A twig snapped behind me, and I spun so fast the world blurred. Footsteps retreated into the woods. Someone watching and waiting. I hid the letter inside my coat. The workers avoided my eyes, trained to ignore fear, as if fear were routine. The cemetery manager approached slowly to calm for the situation. "We have to move the remains immediately. The police will want to examine everything." The word police echoed with Daniel's warning, shaking my nerves to the core. He stared at me long enough to make my skin crawl, expecting something I couldn't give. So I forced my voice steady and said, "Do whatever you need." Inside, panic spiraled like a storm. Why would Daniel warn me about the police? The manager then revealed something else. A phone I recognized instantly. Daniel's phone. The one that vanished the night he died. And on it, a message buzzed across the screen. "Midnight under the lighthouse. Come alone." Someone believed Daniel was alive. Someone wanted me at the lighthouse tonight. He used to take me there before our wedding, saying, "The ocean never hides its storms." Now I wondered if he had been warning me even then. The police arrived with blue lights cutting through the fog. The manager pointed toward me like I was evidence. A female officer approached. Too kindly, too calmly. My instincts insisted she wasn't safe. "I need a moment to pray," I said, pretending to be fragile. They allowed a grief makes people compliant. I slipped behind the crypts and ran, gravel cracking beneath my shoes. The phone in my hand buzzed. Again. "They're already watching you. Hurry," the message read. Fear crawled up my spine as I reached my car. Another message followed, darker and sharper. "If you tell anyone, you'll end up in the coffin with him." I knew then I had no choice but to run. I drove into the night, headlights slicing the darkness. A pair of headlights followed behind me, too close, too steady. My heart hammered with every turn. The lighthouse finally appeared like a warning against jagged waves. The wind chilled my bones. As I stepped out of the car, the phone buzzed once more down the stairs. Keep the phone visible. A narrow metal staircase spiraled into the darkness. One wrong step meant disappearing into the sea. Halfway down, the headlights behind me turned off. Someone stepped out of the car above me. A shadow blocked the path back up. Then a voice echoed down the metal steps. You should have left the coffin closed, Tina. In the beam of the lighthouse, the silhouette resembled Daniel. The tilt of the head, the posture, everything. But when he spoke again, the illusion cracked. It wasn't Daniel. It was a replica. I told them you wouldn't stop, he murmured. His voice was emptier, slower, rehearsed. He stepped closer, metal creaking beneath him. You were supposed to let him go. Who are you? I demanded, clutching the railing. His smile mimicked Daniel's perfectly. I'm the man who made sure you never saw the truth, he whispered. The ocean roared beneath us like a warning. He's alive, Tina, the replica breathed. And if you keep searching, they'll kill him for real. The truth shook the world under my feet. I felt hope and terror merge into something unbearable. Lightning flashed, revealing a second figure. Behind him, silent, dressed in black, holding something metallic. Not. Daniel's eyes widened in fear. Run, he whispered. The masked figure lunged with a blade, sparks flying off the railing. I stumbled down the stairs, scraping my hands. Above, the two figures clashed in a brutal fight. Not Daniel fell. His face was eerily calm as he dropped into the sea. The wave swallowed him whole without a splash. I stared, heartbreaking for a man who wasn't Daniel, but had saved me. Anyway, the assassin looked down at me, mask gleaming. He raised a finger to where lips would be. Then he disappeared into the storm. My phone buzzed again. Daniel Carter video call. His face appeared on screen alive, trembling, terrified. Tina, run, whispered. He said he disappeared to save me. Tears blurred the screen as I begged to know where he was. They buried something. Not someone, he said. They made a version of me that obeyed. Lightning glitched the call, distorting his face. The company that owns our lives owns you too. The call dropped, leaving only a message. Get to Haven. Footsteps sounded behind me, but nothing was there. The lighthouse beam sliced through the mist like a blade. I repeated the word Haven like a prayer or a curse. My car smelled faintly of Daniel's cologne. My phone opened a map on its own, marking Haven facility. A recorded message played from not Daniel's voice, dying and broken. Haven isn't safety. It's where they turned him into me. The message ended in a scream. My car locks snapped shut on their own. In the rearview mirror, someone sat up. In the back seat. Drive, he said. Back home. I paced the living room like a trapped shadow. Every window locked. Every curtain closed. Then I noticed the family portrait was slightly tilted. Behind it, a blinking red light, a camera watching me for who knows how long. I tore it from the wall, heart racing. But the feeling of eyes never left. The smoke detector had extra wires. The vent had something metallic inside. The digital clock wasn't mine. My house wasn't a home. It was surveillance. My phone buzzed. Stop searching or you'll join him. I asked who they were. No reply, just silence. And that red light still blinking. Desperate, I tore through my bedroom. Drawers emptied. Photos scattered everywhere. A floorboard creaked beneath my feet. A loose plank revealed a hidden metotin. Daniel's handwriting carved on top. If anything happens to me, Tina must know. Inside was a USB, a strange map, and a second letter. This one warned, do not trust the police. If this story stayed with you, show some love. Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.